Doing the dadly thing. There's something about the way the earth just sits there in the middle of all that blackness with nothing holding it up. It makes you worry about it. I kept thinking that if I looked away it might just fall. I was so busy keeping the planet up that I completely forgot about Samson too, until he suddenly said, "Okay, well, we could go now." Go where? If we burn one of the engines for 11 minutes, that will push us out of the moon's orbit and shoot us off towards the Earth. I said, "We don't have engines. This is a solar-powered dandelion." Samson 2 was flicking through the manual. We have 2 retros and 2 thrusters, for burning out of orbits and for backing out of trouble. We could use them now, or what? Go to Tesco? Or we could go round the moon one more time. Why would we want to do that? Samson 2 looked up from the manual. If we stayed in orbit but dropped down to a lower altitude of, say, 68 miles, that would give us greater velocity, so we'd leave orbit faster. Then, if my calculations are right, Earth would be some 10,000 miles nearer by the time we'd been round again, so we wouldn't have so far to go. So by adding the extra speed and the shorter distance, we wouldn't lose much time by going round. We would be on a more beneficial flight path. These really are good, these logarithmic tables. So we did another lap of the moon. The first time, because of the angle and the shadow and so on, we'd barely seen the lunar surface. This time, as we passed only 68 miles above it, we felt as if we could see every boulder and rock. I got the spotter's guide down from behind the sunscreen and pointed out the famous bits. The Sea of Tranquility, where Neil Armstrong made his giant leap. Samson 2 snorted at this. The Fra Mauro Formation, where Apollo 13 had been meant to land, and the Sea of Storms, where Alan Bean camped. I said, "You know someone who's walked down there? That bit there, see?" "Ridiculous," said Samson 2. "There's no footage of it because he broke the TV camera," said Florida. "How convenient," said Samson 2. He was the 4th man to walk on the moon. The 3rd was his friend, Peter Conrad. And you know what Alan said? He said part of him never came back. He said he wakes up in the night sometimes and he thinks he's back there. And sometimes, when something big is happening at home, he feels like he's watching from up here. Like the Alan Bean you met on Earth is in an Avatar game, and the real Alan Bean, the one controlling him, is up here. I looked back at the others. They'd gone so quiet I thought they must be really impressed, but they were all playing on their wrist stations. When we were back on the dark side of the moon again, we all had the same feeling of nervousness and dread we'd had the first time. We watched the edge of that curved absence where we knew the moon was, waiting for something to appear. And then something did appear. Earth again. Home. "Okay, are we ready for the burn?" 29 minutes to go, according to me," said Samson 2. "If we burn the engines for 11 minutes, we will be on our way home." "How do we know you're right?" said Max. "I've never been wrong before," shrugged Samson 2. "Not about maths." "And if you are wrong, what happens?" "Well, it would be unlikely that we would miss Earth's gravitational field completely, but we might get caught in a very wide orbit, too far out for us to re-enter safely. We'd become a satellite of Earth, I suppose, like a lot of space debris. Or a comet. Maybe if a comet went right by, we might get caught in its gravitational field and—" "Stop talking," yelled Max. "Can't you see you're scaring us to death?" "It's only a simulation," said Samson 2. The worrying prospect of being dragged around the solar system forever on the back end of a comet was what motivated my genius idea. I said, "Max, give me your wrist station." "What for? You have your own." "Yes, but mine has Professional Golfer on it. Yours has Orbiter 4. And somewhere in the menus there must be a free trajectory flight simulation. If we play it using the specifications for the Dandelion, which we are all here on the inside cover of the manual, then we'll be able to find out if our figures are right or not. If we play it in parallel with our real trip, then we can choose burn engines, and if it says good call, we'll know we're okay. And if we can burn engines and it says, uh-oh, you're dead, then we're dead. Only in the simulation. In real life, we don't do anything till we get top marks in the simulation." "That," said Samson 2, "is genius." "Not genius," Florida beamed at me, "just gifted and talented." So Samson 2 set up the wrist station and played Orbiter 4, and I copied every move he made, dropping the dandelion down to just the right altitude, holding her steady, getting her ready for the burn. I told Max to prepare. You can start the burn. I don't want to. What? But you and Hassan fought each other for this job. Let Hassan do it then. I don't want to go back there. Back where? He pointed to Earth. Earth? Come on, how can you not want to go back to Earth? It's better here. How is it better here? This is deep space. But before he could answer, Hassan said, It is better here. And even Samson too said, It's an unexpectedly enjoyable simulation. I really enjoy the weightlessness effects. I like playing, said Hassan. I like the hide and seek and rock, paper, scissors. I like laughing about weeing. It's good here, said Max, because there's only us. No one telling us to win, or smile, or study, or earn money. Or shooting at us, said Hassan. What about my dad? He's a grown-up, said Florida loyally. But he's not like other grown-ups, said Samson too. He's different. I don't know why. I really wanted to tell him. I wanted to say, I'm a child too. But I didn't. I did the dadly thing. I let him go on believing. And I took them round the moon again, and again, round and round, as if the moon was a fairground ride. And now I'm here in this command module all on my own. Where are the others? I'll tell you. I'll tell you because I'm feeling really proud of us all. I'll tell you even though you're never going to believe me. I know that even if we do get back alive, Dr. Drax is going to deny everything. Plus, we've signed forms promising to keep the whole thing secret. The only way anyone will hear this recording and know what we've done is if we all die on re-entry, but this phone is somehow recovered from the wreckage. If that happens, I think I'd quite like my dad to know what we did. Because the thing is, the others are down there, on the moon.